I Know What You Did Last Summer is back for an all-new Legacy sequel, so today, let's see if it's worth your time. When five friends inadvertently cause a deadly car accident, they cover up their involvement and make a pact to keep it a secret rather than face the consequences. 1 year later, the past comes back to haunt them as they learn someone knows what they did last summer. I Know What You Did Last Summer came out in 1997, and it wasn't one of the slasher films that I remember watching growing up. I was more of a fan of like Nightmare on Elm Street, Chucky, Friday the 13th, Halloween. I don't have any nostalgia for this franchise. I actually just watched the 3 films earlier this week in preparation for this movie, but I was excited for it because I knew much about I Know What You Did Last Summer based on the spoof Scary Movie. After watching I Know What You Did Last Summer, I think Scary Movie did a really great job spoofing that film and Scream.
What are you waiting for?
What am I waiting for? What am I waiting for?
What are you waiting for?
Fuck you!
But I was also looking forward to seeing Freddie Prinze Jr. return and Jennifer Love Hewitt and see how these legacy characters can contribute to this slasher film. And I think this is going to be a movie that's really going to divide fans. People are going to be highly upset with some reveals, or they're going to be, wow, this movie was bold and took some risks and it paid off. I'm kind of more on the side of, wow, I didn't see that coming and I don't think it paid off. I thought it was very cheap and kind of ruined some aspects of the movie for me after watching the previous films. Not going to spoil that for anybody, but I thought that part of this movie really did work as it felt more of like a whodunit compared to the previous I Know What You Did Last Summer films. Many times throughout the film, we are trying to guess who the killer is. They try to give us some clues on possibly who could be the killer. And it feels more in line with that first film as they're trying to figure out who was in the car. And when they cause this accident, trying to learn more about that person's life, which felt similar to that first movie, but then you turn it into this whodunit as this fisherman is starting to kill all the people that are connected to this car accident. And you start to wonder who is the killer, and they do a great job of playing like this whodunit vibe throughout the film, and it ends up being a much more graphic film compared to the previous 3 entries. I thought they were a bit tame for being a slasher movie. This one had some pretty gnarly kills and they were quite graphic at times, really utilizing the fisherman's equipment to kill people, and I thought that was pretty cool. And so it really delivers on the slasher genre and ends up being a pretty bloody good time. The cast in here is fine. No one is a remarkable character. Not one character is a huge standout or has a unique personality to make you really feel connected to the characters. Madeline Klein, Chase Suey Wonders, Tyreek Withers, they're all fine within the role. It really tries to implement a lot of Gen Z humor. At times it comes off a little bit awkward and really forcing that comedy into the film. It does not work much within the movie, but I think they do a great job of, being scared and having these chase sequences throughout and fearful for their lives. Their roles are fine. The characters, they're likable at times, but there's not much offered up to make these characters very unique. I do think that Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt were implemented well into the film. More so Freddie Prinze Jr. He had a natural way of being within the film, and Jennifer Love Hewitt really wanted to put the past behind her, so it was harder to get her more involved within the film. But I really like seeing these characters return after what happened with them in the sequel. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. You really understand like the idea of legacy and that this town has really tried to move on and put the past behind them and ignore what happened. And the film has this nice theme of legacy and the past is there to haunt you. I thought they played around with that quite well within the film, but I like seeing Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt when it comes to, you know, like these horror movies are doing these legacy sequels. I thought they did a great job of implementing them into the film. Now, the end is where it really ruined it for me. Certain reveals of who is the killer, it started off fine and then it didn't. And I'm fortunately going to be in the side of, what was that? Like, that was ridiculous. And it was very poor writing for the reveal. I can tell that they wanted to be bold and take these risks. I don't think it fully paid off. I understand that people will like it and like, oh, that's pretty cool and very different. Sure, go ahead, like that all. For me, I just thought it was very cheap, and I thought it was a bit ridiculous, and I didn't see it coming. I was surprised. I gotta say, I was surprised with certain reveals within the film. I just think it didn't feel earned. It didn't feel natural to the route that they took this film. So unfortunately, I do think that this movie seemed a little bit cheap at times. The humor was a bit forced. The characters were not all that unique or didn't have deep personalities to them where you could really latch onto them. And the setup for this deadly car crash, like, you could argue ways to get out of it, and I'm pretty sure that like the 5 friends could persuade the cops and they would be fine. It wasn't like that first film where they hit somebody and they tried to cover it up. It was a bit different, and I think they easily could have got away with it. I really didn't like this movie so much. The bar wasn't high. I didn't think the first I Know What You Did Last Summer was a groundbreaking movie or one of the best slashers I have ever seen. I understand its popularity with Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar and Jennifer Love Hewitt. It was around that time that, you know, Scream and other slashers were really popular. It wasn't the best one. So this franchise, I don't have any nostalgia for, and it's not one that I'm gonna like be talking about like, oh, this is the coolest horror franchise of all time. This one's a legacy sequel. It's fine, not the best thing I ever seen. Moments just seemed really cheap, and they took some risks, and unfortunately didn't pay off. I'm gonna go ahead and give I Know What You Did Last Summer a C+. Thank you guys for checking my review for I Know What You Did Last Summer, the new legacy sequel. Have you guys seen it by chance? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Justin Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.